Time to break don't dey reach. If you look at the body languages of all the whole politicians, you go see say everybody they talk towards division of the country and total separation, because they don't see they work. All of them don't try their own possible best to make sure say they see Nigeria work, but it's not working. If you look at, no matter the kind of person we enter office, Nigeria know they feel work. So the best thing for everyone is total division. So I go allow one I just watch this video from the starting to the end. Listen to what Osibajo talk and listen to what some other people don't talk about how to divide this Nigeria into two. Some they suggest 3 and some they suggest into 4. So pay attention, drop your own suggestion at the comment section and share this video to everyone on every social media platform so that everybody go see what won't happen for our country Nigeria. It's now becoming obvious and we are now drawing closer, because they don't already talk say war can never be the best solution. So the best solution is dividing, and no other country that have ever survived, no country have ever survived 2 wars at a time. You understand? So if you look at everything they go on, you go see we are going towards division. So share this video to everyone on every social media platform and don't forget to click the subscribe button for more updates. Share this video and the only one if you take encourage support us.
Will Biafra come? It will come. I mean, Nigeria is going to break up. Nobody can do anything about it. Nobody. Why are you so certain about it? Because I know it will happen. Do you think there should be Biafra? Of course. Did the Igbos miscalculate at some point in the history of Nigeria? No. Well, as far as the war was concerned, it wasn't miscalculation. Though the war was not necessary. They shouldn't have gone to war. But they were provoked. Igbos had no choice but to go to the war. They had no choice other than to fight, to defend it, to defend humanity. I supported Ojukwu 1000%. They were pushed to the wall. They had to fight. They had to create their own country by fire, by force. Why did I go and visit my Usegu's mother? Why did I go to the east for my honeymoon? Why did I go to Lagos or go to somewhere else to do my honeymoon after marriage? You went to the house of Chinua Achebe? I went to Chinua Achebe in Nsukka University. I spent a night there. I went to Mercy, the author, what's his name now? It was president of youth movement. He lived somewhere close to Enugu. You know, I went to see him. I spent a night there. Will Biafra come? It will come. I mean, Nigeria is going to break up. Nobody can do anything about it. Nobody. Why are you so certain? Because I know it will happen. No country operated the way Nigeria has been operated can survive. It's not possible. All the rogues who are running the country down, who are doing all sorts of things they are doing now, will pass away. They will not be there forever.
Nigeria is damaged, irreparably damaged, and it cannot be fixed. I will not mince words. The only thing that can fix Nigeria is a reset. You can interpret that however you want to interpret it.
Present cracks may lead to Nigerians breakup, Osibajo warns. So when I saw this news, I was interested. What are these present cracks on the wall of unity of Nigeria?
Fear that the country may break up or engage in a full-scale war, and only labor and other progressive forces can stop this dangerous trend that we are witnessing in our country. A retired general who once warned that no nation survived 2 civil wars has now called on Nigerians to rise up and defend themselves on the ground that the armed forces and the police have compromised the security of the nation. This particular general, if you must know, was the chief of army staff when in the 70s under Obasanjo you had Uge riots, Oshodi riots, Fela Southbound, and you know these guys were just killing. And while he was Minister of Defense under Obasanjo, you had OD invasion in Bayelsa, Zakibian in Benue State, and of course his own role in the Junkun, thief war, between Taraba and Benue State. And this this was the guy who said he got an air block, move across to the offshore. He sold the thing, kept enough for his family, and publicly disclosed, and I don't know what to do with $500 million. Many youth bodies have queued behind the members of the ruling class, agitating for the balkanization of the country. Others who are disenchanted with unemployment, illiteracy and poverty, traceable to the implementation of neoliberal economic policies, have engaged in crimes such as armed robbery, banditry, terrorism, drug trafficking, advanced fee fraud, internet fraud, prostitution, and human trafficking. The failure of the regime to control the violent attacks on farmers and destruction of farms by a group bearing AK-47 rifles, operating as elders, and lopsided appointment by the Buhari regime have fueled the separatist agenda of several groups in the country. In spite of the program of his own party, that is the APC, for restructuring or power devolution from the center to the other federating unit, President Buhari has sworn arrogantly to defend the status quo. Oh, we fought the civil war. We're not going to allow anybody to break up the country, but the country is breaking on their heads. A regime that had negotiated and granted amnesty to terrorists and bandits in the recent past has rejected the call for dialogue with all separatist bodies. The House of Representatives are just passed a resolution, a jocular, the height of recent jokes, calling on President Buhari to declare a state of emergency to combat insecurity in the country. What do you mean by state of emergency? Because anytime there is a problem, declare a state of emergency on education, declare a state of emergency on that. Meaning what? Address the problems of insecurity in our country. But what did they say? Oh, we want to give him enormous powers to restore law and order in the country. And I'm asking here. But without declaring a state of emergency, as President Buhari not declared and authorized the armed forces to wage a full-scale war on communities in Kaduna, Zamfara, Katsina, Niger, Akwa Ibom, Imo, Ebonyi, Benue, and Taraba State in order to fish out terrorists and bandits. As a number of militias and vigilante groups now retaliated by attacking and killing scores of military and police personnel. The latest was that the president, like his predecessor, General Lucas Obasanjo, ordered that all bandits, headers should be shot on sight illegally. Because there is a provision of our law dealing with illegal possession of firearms, murder and others. You will have to arrest criminal elements and put them on trial. No president has the power to order criminal suspects to be extrajudicially executed. But that was meant to give the impression that the regime has now decided to put an end to this form of criminality. It is our submission that several decades of legacy of misrule and bad governance, corruption and diversion of the Commonwealth, and anti-people's policies have led to the ascendancy of insecurity in the country. No part of Nigeria is safe today, as marauders have been abducting people, including undergraduates, secondary school students, and even primary school pupils. We have found that armed bandits, armed insurgents, armed headers, armed militias, armed coaches, armed robbers, and armed kidnappers lay siege to the country, exercising varying degrees of suzerainty over large swaths of the territory of the country. The state is incapable of ending kidnapping or rescuing abducted citizens and foreigners. In the circumstance, ransom is paid by family members and friends to secure the release of victims of abductions from captivity. Just yesterday, the governor of Niger State an APC governor, warned the people in Abuja, the people in the villa, that these boys are coming because they are just a few kilometers away from Abuja, and that they are hosting the flag of Boko Haram. Nobody has denied such, statement. It is crystal clear that the neo-colonial state has lost the monopoly of violence to the armed gangs, and that happens only in banana republics or failed states. Apart from the manipulation of ethnicity and religion and use of brute force, the federal and state governments have run out of ideas and are incapable of finding lasting solutions to the worsening security challenge in the country. The negotiations between bandits in power and bandits in the bush have yielded no positive results. Since 2009, the armed forces have been waging the counter-insurgency operations in the northeast region, realizing that the armed forces are ill-equipped and ill-motivated. The immediate past Chief of Army Staff, General Yusuf Buratai, has predicted that the war on terror will last for another period of 20 years. That was what he told the Senate. Without challenging him, he said, go and become an ambassador, representing our country. Since the Nigerian police force has been demobilized deliberately from maintaining law and order by successive regimes, the overstretched armed forces have been deployed and mandated to free many communities that have been overrun by nihilist forces in the various states. Having been overwhelmed by the security challenge, the ruling class will not hesitate to sabotage the democratic process or plunge the country into another civil war. These guys will call the military when they are tired. Mark it.
Osibajo is saying that the cracks on the unity of Nigeria may lead to Nigerians' breakup. What are the present cracks? So please stay with me. Let us look at the cracks he said that are the problem Nigeria is facing. All right, so to the news, he said the Vice President Yemi Osibajo has said Nigeria may break up if efforts are not made to address the cracks. What are those cracks that need to be addressed? That is what we are looking for. He said effort to amend the crack might be opposed, but such opposition would be defeated with focus and consistent prayer. So Osibajo is saying that when we begin to address these cracks, that there will be opposition indeed, but those opposition will be defeated by focus or with focus and consistent prayer. So ask yourself, are you a prayerful Nigerian? All right. So furthermore, he said, Osibajo gave the warning on Sunday in Abuja at an interdenominational church service to commemorate Nigeria's 60th independence anniversary. Punch report. The vice president was represented by the secretary to the government of the federation, Boss Mustafa, at the National Economical Center, where the anniversary service was held. All right. Furthermore, he said, in attendance were representatives of the Senate President Ahmed Lawan, Speaker of the House of Representatives Femi Gbajamila, Head of Service of the Federation Folashade Yemi Esan, Permanent Secretaries, military officers, members of the diplomatic community, and other senior government officials. So these are those that were present at that event. Furthermore, he said, referring the biblical story of how Nehemiah championed the rebuilding of the broken walls of Jerusalem, Osibajo said the story should be a challenge to every Christian in Nigeria. It's only that kind of Nehemiah's love that will make us as Nigerians to rebuild the cracks we have in our walls today. So Osibajo is admonishing Nigerians to have the kind of love that Nehemiah had. Oh yes, so he said that is the only way we can, rebuild or amend these cracks on our wall. All right. Furthermore, he said, fortunately for us, our walls are not yet broken, but there are apparent cracks that would lead to a breakup if not adequately addressed. They are what? They are apparent cracks on the wall. Apparent means something that is visible. So there are visible cracks on the wall of Nigerians' unity that could, that could lead to breakup if not properly addressed. All right. Nehemiah started with fervent prayers, seeking the face of God, and pleaded with his king to allow him to return to Jerusalem to rebuild the broken walls, because the walls signifies peace, security, contentment, and prosperity. It represents the essence of the state of the nation. All right? He went further to say, there is an urgent need for a Nehemiah in our country, Nigeria, today. Did you hear that? There is an urgent need for a Nehemiah in our country, Nigeria, today. So I don't know, are you Nehemiah in Nigeria today, or are you something else? All right? Unlike Nehemiah faced opposition in his effort to rebuild the walls, any Nigerian that desires to rebuild Nigeria must also be ready to face severe opposition, which will come in torrents. It can only be diffused by consistent focus and prayers. So Osibajo is still saying that once you are ready, once you prepare yourself to come out to face or to amend or to address this crack on the wall of unity of Nigeria, that you'll be faced with opposition, but those opposition will be what? Will be defeated with focus and prayer. So finally, he said, I think this is where the news is. The vice president, however, expressed optimism that the 60th independent anniversary could herald a rebirth in Nigeria, saying no group is more prepared for this task than our religious bodies. Than what? Our religious bodies. Now, as I said, this news was made a couple of years, I think in 2020, when Osibajo was still the vice president. Now, that was when our religious bodies were active. CAN, Christian Association of Nigeria. Now, you watching me, when last did you hear any statement by CAN? I don't think they exist again. I'm not sure they exist. All right. So he said, the president of the Christian Association of Nigeria, Dr. Samson Ayokule, in his sermon titled The Crucial Need to Attain Greatness at 60, stressed that the need for justice, which he said would bring peace, tolerance, and love. All right. For us all to be on the same page, have a sense of belonging, and be happy. The doctrine of equality, that is equal access to employment, governance, and education, must be available to all. The principle of inclusivity must be adopted. Nobody or region must be excluded from the scheme of things in Nigeria, he said. Nobody should be excluded from the scheme of things in Nigeria. Today, some people are excluded from the scheme of things in Nigeria.
Wetin be your talk about Nigeria unity and about Nigeria division? Drop your thought at the comment section. Your thought is really needed to make everybody know wetin they want, because you hear wetin Osibajo don talk, you hear wetin other people don't talk, other news analysts don't talk. So wetin be your talk? Dividing Nigeria, will it be the best option? Is it how many? 1 or 2 or into 3 or into 4? So wetin I think? Drop it at the comment section, and don't forget to click the subscribe button for more updates. Now the only one fit take encourage support us. Thank you, my lovely people.